Robinhood is rolling out new tools for active traders, offering futures and index options as it looks to transform wealth management. Our own Brian Sozzi is talking to Robinhood CEO Vlad Tenev. Sozzi, take it away.
All right, thanks so much, Brad. Vlad, always nice to get some time with you. I know a big night for you and the team over at your first annual Hood Summit, so good to see you here. Is the reality that your customer that joined you a couple years ago, they're getting older and they just needed some more ways to invest the money that they have made on the platform, and that's why you're coming out with things like index options and futures?
Hey, Brian, good to see you again. Yeah, I mean, we historically have been great at getting new investors into the markets, but in 2022, we shifted our focus a little bit. A lot of our new investors had grown with us. They'd become active traders. They'd become much more sophisticated. And so we've been working hard at adding all the tools and capabilities that they need to trade and invest in this market. Really, Hood Summit was all about that. It was the biggest event we've ever held for our active traders. We announced index options, futures, as well as a new desktop platform built exclusively for active traders called Robinhood Legend. And I think, so far, the products have been very well received. We've had over 800 of our active traders with us in person here. 1.7 million looked at the live stream on X. And feedback we've gotten is that these tools are powerful and they're well designed. And I think customers are really going to like them.
How is that, I guess, transition to having even more sophisticated active traders on the platform? How does that change the financial profile of Robinhood?
Well, so the majority of our customers right now, and consequently our trading activity, is on mobile, where we've been a leader. But if you look at the broader market, about half of trading happens on desktop and web, because the additional screen real estate allows traders to do different things. Like if they wanted to trade from the chart, or at least trade with the market data and the tools available on one interface, it's just more difficult to do that on mobile. So if you're looking for a little bit more advanced tooling, desktop is still important. And we weren't really competing or offering products in that space until now. So I think the potential could be quite big to expand Robinhood's footprint among traders.
And how big is the opportunity for, I guess, investors not familiar with your transition? You and I have talked a lot in the past about the transition to more wealth management service. How big an opportunity is just being involved with futures and index options look like for Robinhood?
Yeah, so Robinhood's focused on three things. The main thing is actually becoming the market leader in trading. And we've been growing market share over the past few years. I think last time I was on your show, I mentioned that throughout 2023, we grew our options market share something like 19%, equities by 14%. And we believe that we're on pace, and we eventually believe we can get to the market leader in this category. Certainly we're there on mobile, but of course we have to expand beyond that into more tools and more platforms. So that's a part of it. But also we see an opportunity with the big wealth transfer that's coming in the next few decades. A lot of trillions of assets and wealth are shifting from silent generation and baby boomers down to younger generations. Robinhood has such a position in the US with the younger generations. Our app is very commonly used, close to ubiquitous. And so we're rolling out all kinds of tools. I mean, Hood Summit's really about active traders, but we believe the long-term vision is for all of your finances, for you to trade, to invest, to earn through Robinhood. And we believe we can serve every type of customer around the world with amazing products.
Vlad, I'd love to get your thoughts on this one. So, the old school money management firms, over the past decade, they've gone out there and acquired all these innovators. And I think you talked a little bit about this during your presentation. So what does it mean now that these trading platforms are owned by the old school establishment? Who innovates? I mean, of course, you're going to say, Robinhood is innovating, but what does it mean to the active trader or the person trading stocks if you don't have a group of companies not owned by big banks out there innovating and trying to change the game?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's been a big problem for today's active trader. All of the small independent platforms that catered to them have been gobbled up by large incumbents, and the incumbents basically view these customers as leads to high-cost wealth management services. Like they don't really care too much about the trading aspect of it, and so they're doing forced migrations of these customers. They're migrating them over to their own systems, which they haven't really been liking. I mean, we've been seeing a lot of complaints around the TD Ameritrade to Schwab migration in particular, also E-Trade to Morgan Stanley. And the platforms are being put on the back burner. There's less of an incentive for these large wirehouses to invest in active trading platforms because so much more of the revenue and the focus is coming from wealth management services. And I think that's a problem for customers, also an opportunity for Robinhood. And I think coming out with a modern desktop platform that is built with the latest technology right at this time, I think hopefully customers will see that serves their needs and fills the gap left by this huge wave of consolidation and kind of the removal of the smaller independent players from the market.
Vlad, lastly, the economy is proving very, very resilient. We had that 50 basis point rate cut, but the economy continues to surprise on the upside, and it is realistic that maybe the Fed is not out there cutting rates on a prolonged stretch as many in the market thought about just a couple weeks ago. Does the street have it right in terms of Robinhood, in terms of their modeling? If the Fed is not out there cutting rates, that has to be good for Robinhood, and you continue to benefit from the tailwinds that you have seen over the past 18 months.
I think the street, my observation after being public 3 years, they tend to extrapolate what they've seen in the recent past. And not everyone does this, but there can be a tendency to look at where the hard numbers are in the past to predict the future. And I think what we aspire to do with Robinhood is continue to change and evolve. And the one thing that I think is a little bit has been hard to model is all the new products and kind of the torrent of innovation that we've been putting out in the market. So yesterday at the Hood Summit, we announced 3 products, index options, futures, and of course, Robinhood Legend, along with a suite of smaller improvements and nice features that customers have been asking for. So the product keeps getting better and better. We're nowhere close to done in fulfilling the mission. And I think over time, to use a Benjamin Graham parlance, we want this to be a heavy company and kind of like ignore the short-term up and down fluctuations of the stock and just focus on building shareholder value over the long term.
Always great to snag some time with you, Vlad. Nice touch bringing your dad on stage last night. That was pretty cool stuff. We'll talk to you soon. Good luck.
That was a lot of fun.
Good luck on the launches.
Thank you.